Hello, everyone. Chief Meteorologist George Lessons live in the 13 on your side Weather Center. Storm systems have turned tornadic here. We have a tornado warning now issued for portions of Van Buren County. Once again, folks in Van Buren County, tornado warning. This is a radar indicated tornado that will be affecting the cities of Decatur, Lawrence, and Paw Paw until 11:45 this evening. The actual center of the storm appears to be over southwestern Van Buren County, and you can see up near the cities of Paw Paw, Sisters Lakes, and also here in the Paw Paw area, right in through here. This is an area of a little bit of rotation. These are all going to be little discrete storms. Also near Lawrence, right in through here, and there's a much stronger system right in through here. All of these have the potential of producing very small spin-ups. So the hazards from this will be from a tornado, and these are indicated on radar. So once again, this is a radar indicated tornado warning, and the impacts will be from flying debris, which of course could be dangerous. So you need to be heading to a place of safe shelter immediately, especially if you're in the Sisters Lake area around Lawrence and Paw Paw. Again, these storms have produced a history of severe weather back to our south and west. Mainly it's been just hail so far, but these areas right in through here showing a rotation around the Lawrence area, Paw Paw, and Sisters Lakes as these storm systems move off to the northeast at about 40 miles per hour. We will continue to stay on the air and bring you more information as it becomes available. But right now, this is the area that we are most concerned about, and that is the tornado warning for Van Buren County until 11. Out and got to a place of safe shelter, like a community shelter, and take your bicycle helmets with you if you can. Most other safety tips include in your vehicles. Hopefully not a lot of people are out on the road because these storms have been coming on through the region earlier this evening, and so areas off to the south and west of us have been the areas that have been of concern. So those of you who are just joining us, perhaps at the top of the hour, tornado warning has been issued for portions of Van Buren County. This is a radar indicated tornado that will be in effect until 11:45 unless it's canceled early. This is for the folks in Decatur, Lawrence, and Paw Paw, and as we showed you earlier, the areas of concern right now are where the green and the red come close together. This is right around the Sisters Lakes areas right in through here, perhaps around the Lawrence region and just to the west of there, and also northeast of Paw Paw. Each one of those where those two red and green colors come together with the inbound winds and the outbound winds, that's where the strongest rotation usually occurs. And of course, if you are experiencing high winds, make sure you are in that place of safe shelter. We've been talking about the hail that has been occurring with these storms, which is another dangerous threat with this. We've had a lot of hail up to an inch in diameter, and most of that has been over the Kalamazoo County area earlier tonight, where they had up to an inch diameter hail in the Kalamazoo area just off to the northeast of there. So not only that, but the lightning associated with these storms, all very dangerous hazards. There have been several hundred lightning strikes just in this area alone. So the strong winds, the lightning, and the hail, all of these are the issues with this. And this system is expected to move through fairly quickly. So once the storms end from the southwest, that is going to be it for the rest of the night. A lot of positive and a lot of negative lightning strikes. The positive strikes come out of the top of the cloud. Those are the most powerful, the loudest booms. The negative lightning strikes come from the bottom of the storms themselves, and those are also just as dangerous. So again, for those of you just joining us, we are talking about the tornado warning that was issued by the National Weather Service a little while ago, and that is for portions of Van Buren County until 11:45 this evening. So if you are in the Decatur area, Lawrence, and Paw Paw, you should be heading to a place of safe shelter. A lot of folks are just joining us, so it sounds like we're repeating ourselves, but there are more and more people that get on the cell phone and say, hey, you should turn on channel 13 and get the latest weather information. So this information is for the new folks that are joining us. So there are also a number of severe thunderstorm warnings that are also in effect, the ones for Allegan County and the one also for Berry County. This one is for Eaton County, which is just to the east of us, so it was canceled for the Battle Creek area and southeastern Berry County. It's just now in effect for Eaton County until 11:15, so that's about 11 minutes from now. And again, that's a little bit on the eastern edge of our viewing area, but this is all part of that large thunderstorm complex that extends all the way back across southern Berry County, also into Allegan County, where that severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect until 11:30. So the folks in Allegan County, you've seen the worst of that storm come through. On up in the Door area, it is knocking on the doorstep. No pun intended, yes, on the doorstep there, and you're going to experience some heavy downpours, some large hail, and perhaps some very strong gusty winds. Again, this is a radar indicated or observed severe thunderstorm moving up into the greater Grand Rapids area here in just a little while. If the newsroom has any information, you can certainly pass it along into my ear, and we'll be updating the folks on the air. But the reason why we're on the air and staying on the air continuously right now is for the tornado warning. For those of you just joining us until 11:45. Again, this is for portions of southern Van Buren County where there has been an indication of some rotation, and perhaps maybe some of that is reaching the ground. That would be right in through here, just northeast of the Sisters Lake area. This has been traveling up in this general vicinity. Also right here along this line, perhaps between Lawrence and Bangor right now. This is another area of rotation right in through here, northeast of Paw Paw into the Matawan area. So if you're up in this area in Alamo, which is in northwestern Kalamazoo County, just west of Ashtimo, this is an area of concern as well. All of these storms are moving off to the northeast at about 40 miles an hour. So you may only have a minute or two before you need to get into a place of safe shelter. This is the one I'm concerned about that will be heading up into the Alamo and perhaps near Plainwell over the next several minutes to half an hour. If you recall, this is very similar to what we saw back in August with the tornadoes that spun up very quickly up in northern Kent County around the Belmont area. This is the same type of volatile situation. You would think that this is the middle of the spring, very rare for late February for these kinds of storms to come through, but these can come through at any time. And I am looking at some new information here coming out. This is for the severe thunderstorm warning that is for Allegan County. I'm going to go back to that, and it indicates that that has been cleared for the southern portions of the county. So from Allegan and Fenville, Shelbyville northward, that's where the warning remains in effect until 11:30 this evening. And if you're in the Door area and up toward Wayland, you're already starting to see those storms move in very, very quickly. For your protection, you want to again move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. As these storms move northeast now, they're picking up some speed at about 50 miles per hour. Not seeing any reports of any hail at the present time, but let's check. Nothing in Allegan County right now in terms of the hail, but I'm sure certainly there's some high winds. We're going to, for those folks that are just joining us in the last 2 or 3 minutes, a lot of folks are just turning on the TV or expecting to see the weather about this time. So we're recapping this. It sounds like we're repeating a lot, but you have to realize that we get more and more folks that join every minute as this tornado warning has been broadcast. So 11:45 is when this is expected to expire, unless it's canceled early, for folks in the Decatur, Lawrence, and Paw Paw areas for the potential of a tornado. This is radar indicated. There could be hail up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Going to query the inside of the storm once again to see where the strongest rotation is. It looks like it is still kind of stretched out here along the squall line northeast of Sisters Lakes, and there's also this one that is now just crossing the Allegan County, Kalamazoo County line, heading up toward Alamo, northeastern Kalamazoo County. This is just northwest of Ashtimo. This is the area of concern. There's also perhaps a little bit of rotation right in through here, northwest of Paw Paw. So all of these could spin up a very brief tornado at any time. So you need to be on the lowest portion of your home or dwelling and just get into the northeastern part of that particular room. I don't know if Juliet, if you have any information that you are privy to at this time or not.
George, what we're listening, we're monitoring our tower cams here in West Michigan with the Lakeshore, Muskegon, Holland. Just seeing a little bit of lightning right now from the Muskegon tower cam. We are looking at the outage maps. We are seeing on the Consumers Energy outage map, there are about 900 outages south of here in the area where the severe weather is happening right now. Other than that, if you see anything or hear anything, viewers, and you can safely let us know via email or take a picture, just as long as you stay safe. We want to know what's happening where you are.
Larger picture here, back to the radar. You can see the larger picture. This is a system that was developed early this evening and has moved through the Chicago area very quickly. There were reports of tornadoes, actual observed tornadoes on the ground, and it's not impossible that same system could spin up those storms here in the Allegan, Van Buren County areas, now moving up through Berry County. This is yet to knock on the door in Grand Rapids. Right now, at the rate it's moving, it looks like it will affect southern Kent County here in the next 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm quite surprised the warnings have not been issued yet for portions of Kent County. Perhaps they're waiting for verification that these storms have actually become severe or reached severe criteria, because most of the storms so far has only produced hail up to about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Severe thunderstorm warning requires 1 inch diameter hail. Doesn't matter what the size, it still can do damage. Nonetheless, that's what we've seen so far. No reports of any damage or winds yet with the storms, but most of this has been heavy downpours, the lightning, of course, and the large hail so far. Again, the reason why we're staying on the air until the threat has passed is for those folks who are just joining us. That is for the tornado warning that was issued just prior to 11 o'clock. This was for, and it still is, for southern half of Van Buren County. It's down along I-94, includes the cities of Decatur, Lawrence, and Paw Paw, moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. And looking inside the storm, once again, we have a good indication of a little bit of rotation right in through here. It's right along a line. It's all been moving off in this general vicinity, and this is the other one that we are tracking. It has now moved right along the Allegan and Kalamazoo County lines. I should say Van Buren and Kalamazoo County lines. That area where the green coming toward the radar and the red going away from the radar, that gives an indication that there is some kind of rotation right in through here. Not dissimilar to what we saw up in Belmont last August. So this has moved through and north of the Paw Paw area, heading on up into extreme northwestern Kalamazoo County. So this is the area that I would be taking safe shelter from right now. As far as the rest of the West Michigan weather pattern, we're looking at pretty much the showers and thunderstorms rumbling through with some heavy downpours. I can see that storm just northwest of Kalamazoo right in through here has got quite a bit of elevation with it, which the higher the thunderstorm, the more rain it can produce, the heavier, the larger the hail it can produce as well. Right now it looks like the tops of those particular storms are right up around 36,000 feet. They get up to around 40,000 feet or so. They can tap that colder air and produce the large hail that we have seen so far today. Not getting any reports coming in at the present time, so I'm going to put this back up and show where the tornado warning is in effect for Van Buren County until 11:45. Once again, I know a lot of folks are saying, sounds like you're repeating yourself, no new information, but these are for the folks that are tuning in and are just waking up. Maybe perhaps their NOAA weather radio went off. They're looking for information, scanning the channels, and so this is the information that we are going to try and provide you until the warning has been canceled or until it expires. Anything new, Juliet, from the newsroom yet?
No, we do have a crew headed south on 131. We're looking to see if there is any damage and what the weather is doing as they get closer to southern Kent County. Also, just a few scattered power outages, about 900 reported so far south in the areas that where the warning, the tornado warning is indicated. Also, we're monitoring our tower cams. As you can see, we're from Walker Tower Cam, there's some lightning right there. It's coming on shore. Also, Muskegon, we're hearing the thunder now here near the station, George. There we go. There's our Muskegon Tower Cam. You can see it's raining there. But so far, no reports of any hail or any other severe weather yet coming in from our viewers. If you do have something, news at 13onyourside.com. Again, news at 13onyourside.com. If you have any information, any pictures, anything you can safely take, send it our way, and we want to know what's going on where you live. This is the airport camera. Looks, there's a plane right there taxiing. So that's what we have from the newsroom right now, George.
Back to our radar, this is another way that we look at what's going on inside the storm. This is in Van Buren County. Each one of those paths in the gray and blues are where there is an indication of rotation. Another way to look at it compared to the reds and greens, this is the path of rotation. You can see the little bit of brighter blue just to the north of Matawan. That is where rotation is occurring at some point in the cloud and may eventually reach the ground. It all depends on how far away the radar, the storms are from the radar. So those are the areas of concern right now, is north of Matawan and also heading up into the Alamo area. I'm looking at the latest weather information that just came out of the National Weather Service here. I'm going to update you. This is for here, there we go. Want to go back to that? That's where we go. Tornado warning remains in effect till 11:45. Southern Van Buren County. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Decatur. And that is moving northeast or east at about 35 miles an hour. Again, this is a radar indicated rotation, so no verification yet, but you need to be taking cover now in to the basement or the lowest portion of the floor. So what they are looking at, National Weather Service is looking at, is the area. Yep, since we did our last scan, you can see here is where the rotation is starting to strengthen. This is that same one that came up through the Sisters Lake area. This does look to be quite scary at this moment. Hate to use the word scary, but I'm going to try to zoom in as close as I can down to street level, so those folks that are in this area, I can at least take a look and see what roads these are on. This is south of I-94, of course, and it looks like there's at least, if I can do the math here, that's 81 mile per hour gate-to-gate shear. This is to the northwest of Decatur. Try to zoom in a little bit closer, get some streets. That's in Hamilton Township. A little too close there for you. Don't want to make anybody sick. Let's see, that is, looks like it's to the east. Is that M51? That looks like, the folks that are down there know exactly what that is. This is south of I-94, south of Lawrence, heading northeast. Heading east, I should say, according to the Weather Service, moving in this particular direction. So that will be through the Decatur area and Lawton area where the tornado warning remains in effect. If you're in that area, you should be in a place of safe shelter very, very soon, if not already. Probably your NOAA weather radio went off. Again, this is the area of concern, and we're going to stay on the air until the threat has passed. I know here in the greater Grand Rapids area, we are just now hearing the thunder, as Juliet mentioned. No word of any power outages here in the greater Grand Rapids area, but perhaps further to the south, once these storms get going, that could be an area of concern. I'm looking at some other areas besides Decatur when the scan comes back around. There are some small pockets of rotation, maybe of concern, but maybe not. This one is just to the northwest of Allegan. There's also another one that came up through the Alamo area, is now moving up toward Plainwell. That's the same one that we've been tracking, moving in this direction. The main one National Weather Service is taking a look at, and I'm a little concerned with as well, is this area. It's probably several thousand feet in the air, because the farther away from the radar, the higher the radar beam gets. So this might be about 5,000 or 6,000 feet above the ground level. So we need the ground verification to look at the actual storm if it is on the ground. Once again, the tornado warning is in effect for portions of southern Van Buren County. And this is the reason why we're doing continuous coverage. More people are turning in to get the latest weather information. It looks like it has cleared most of the Hartford area and Sister Lakes area, but moving into Decatur, those are the areas that I would be heading to a place of safe shelter at this time. A lot of reports of hail coming in. The latest is a 3/4 inch diameter hail around the Kalamazoo area. Wind gusts earlier this evening up to 40 miles per hour along the lakeshore. In Douglas, they had a 48-mile-per-hour wind gust, and most of the hail reports that I'm seeing coming in are around 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. So not the largest hail, but around 10:30 this evening in the Matawan area, they had 1-inch diameter hail. Imagine that was probably doing a little bit of damage there. Anything new, Juliet, yet from the newsroom?
No, we just have everybody monitoring the scanners, also our tower cams. There we go from the Walker Tower Cam. You can see there's some lightning. We are not hearing of any other storm reports yet from the greater Grand Rapids area. As far as outages go, what we are hearing on that is Van Buren, Berry, and Eaton counties, about 1,300 people without power in that area. I hear some of your warning sounds going off there, George. This is Muskegon. As you can see, it's getting windy and rainy there. Our crew is headed south down 131. They're about almost to Allegan County now. So if they see or hear anything, they will let us know, but they won't drive into the dangerous situation. So George, what do you have for us?
New warning, maybe an update, maybe it's a redefining, but this one is for eastern Allegan County. The outline there, it looks like, yes, right in through there. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Allegan County, Berry County, and northern Kalamazoo County. That's the outlined and highlighted area there. And this severe thunderstorm warning up on the top has a threat tag called a tornado possible. It is a radar indicated severe thunderstorm, but a tornado possible in that area, in the Door area on up through Hastings and also Kalamazoo, as that storm system is moving through the Decatur area, heading northeast. So any one of those areas could produce a very quick spin up of a tornado. We are under severe thunderstorm watch, so those areas certainly could produce, any one of those areas could produce a very small tornado. A tornado is not small. Any of those could produce a tornado at any time. They could be brief, but every one of those paths that have the gray and the blue in them, especially the one northeast of Paw Paw, has rotation with it according to the radar. That's a good way to track those storms. The strongest one is just to the west of Decatur. You can see that. That's the bright blue. That is likely already moving into the Decatur area. You should be in a place of safe shelter, lowest portion of your dwelling. If not, just stay away from windows in the northeastern part of your house. The reason why we're staying on the air, of course, is for the tornado warning, which is still in effect for Van Buren County as we track that storm system right in through here in the Decatur area. Yes, it is getting stronger, Juliet. We're starting to see some very bright green and even some stronger reds. So it is right over the city of Decatur right now, and it's been moving generally in this direction. So eventually south of Lawton, between Decatur and Lawton, this is the place you need to be for in a place of safe shelter. And to recap that, a lot of folks still just tuning in. Perhaps the folks are looking for where they need to be in a place of safe shelter. Again, the home with a basement is the best place if you can in the center or northeastern part of your home. Get under a stairway, heavy table or workbench. Just avoid windows in those areas. If you cannot, if you don't have a home with a basement, just the lowest floor. Seek shelter in an area where there are no windows, such like a bathroom or a closet. Just avoid windows as well. And hopefully, in areas earlier tonight, you were able to get out of your mobile home if you could. Seek shelter, nearby community shelter. Take your bicycle helmets with you. I had a question, Juliet, from a viewer that asked if for infants, if a car seat would be the best place for them, for the babies to be in a storm. What is your opinion on that?
I don't think so. I think you want to be underground away from any windows.
Yeah, I believe so as well. The overall storm system itself is has produced severe weather back to our west. 5 tornadoes at least earlier this evening to the west of Chicago, just northwest of Chicago, and large hail as well. And this is the same system that is now moving into southwest lower Michigan. If I take a look at the radar right now, want to tell the folks that are safe from the latest storms. Always want to know if you're okay to come out of your basement and those kind of things. Along the lakeshore, it looks like from around the city of Holland toward the lakeshore, all the way down 196 to St. Joseph, you are in the clear right now. But if you're along 131 and points eastward, the storm is there or is about to move in. 96, if you're north of 96, storm's not there yet, but it will be approaching very quickly. Just look at the rotation, the spin of that storm. We've also got another little spin going off to the north of Muskegon. That too could produce some strong winds, some hail, especially up here in southern Oceana County. A lot of lightning strikes as well, a lot of heavy downpours. Let us know if you see any kind of rotation there as well, or perhaps even the large hail as you might expect. Starting to hear some rain here on the roof, Juliet, just a little bit, or it could be in the form of hail. Again, the reason why we're doing continuous coverage during our newscast is because of the tornado warning that was issued earlier, right around 11 o'clock for Van Buren County. And it's mostly for the areas around Decatur and to the east of there. I'm looking at that storm system, Juliet. That's real concerning right in there. You remember the Belmont storm
Sure do.
from earlier.
We were live on the air the whole time for that one as well.
This is looking very similar to that. A lot of large rotation. The difference between the one up in Belmont last August is that it was within about 8 to 10 miles of the radar itself. This one's a little bit further away from the radar. The closest radar, of course, is at the National Weather Service out at the airport here in Grand Rapids. Going to put a little measuring stick on that. So instead of 7 or 8 miles, this is about 55 miles away. So the farther out you get, the higher the radar beam shoots higher up into the storm. So this could mean that what we're seeing there on the rotation may actually not be reaching the ground, but it's certainly very strong rotation, at least from about 5,000 or 6,000 feet on up. And that's the reason why the tornado warning was issued for those areas. I just got the latest. It's 11:26 right now. Tornado warning, according to the National Weather Service, remains in effect until 11:45. So we're going to stay on until at least then, or at least there's some kind of confirmation that says there is no more threat. I can see it's been cleared now just for the south and eastern part of Van Buren County. The hazard, of course, will be tornado and perhaps up to quarter-size hail. And if there is any debris that does get lofted, that means there could be damage from flying debris. New radar scan shows that we do have the rotation is now moved to between Lawton and Decatur. And that is the area of concern right now. And again, if you are in the city of Lawton or just south of Paw Paw, in those areas over toward Manawan, you need to be below ground if you can, or in the lowest part of your home or dwelling, northeastern part of the home, or interior hallway, and avoid windows at all costs. I'm interested to see if they're getting any more power outages. I don't see any, Juliet, on the Consumer's Energy map.
What I'm hearing is 1,400 on the Consumer's Energy map. We know there are also some smaller utilities in that area. There are just small scattered power outages that we are hearing so far. We're also monitoring our tower cams in the greater Grand Rapids area. This is our Walker Tower cam, and earlier we had seen some lightning. Right now, not much. Can we take a look at our Lakeshore camera? There's the airport camera. Everything looks fine there. This is Muskegon. It seemed a little windier the last time we checked. The one thing that we are noticing, George, is how quickly this system is moving through West Michigan.
Yeah, this is a fairly dynamic, very compact system. The more compact it is, the more spin there is to it. This is an entirely large rotating thunderstorm complex, about 40 to 50 miles wide, that was just rotating across northern Illinois and southern Lake Michigan. And this is just the same system that is spinning on through. And you can see on the radar right now, that little bit of a spin, every one of those paths has rotation in it. And the stronger the rotation is the brighter color. So you see from the Decatur area to the northeast and on from Paw Paw all the way up into northwestern Kalamazoo counties, that has all had rotation within the cloud as it has moved over the last hour or so. So those are the reasons why we have severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings in effect, especially for the one near Decatur. I want to go take a look once again. There's a new radar scan with the bright green showing up here on the radar. That is the air that's going toward the radar, and the red is the air going away from the radar. So right in through here is where you get what is called wind shear, and when you get that wind shear in there, this is where you start getting the rotation from going toward the radar, going away from the radar, coming back to the radar. And so right here is where the highest rotation is, or the most dangerous part of that storm would be, down in the area of Lawton, where the tornado warning remains in effect until 11:45. I'm not seeing if there's going to be any indication that it will be updated or changed, but that is the reason why we're staying on the air at this hour. I want to look at some other areas here in West Michigan, because I know we have a lot of viewers elsewhere. They want to see, can I see my county? Where are the storms coming from? Where are they headed? The one area has split off from the main batch of storms, heading north of Muskegon on up into Oceana and Newaygo counties right now, while the threat area is now from southern Grand Rapids, moved into the southern suburbs now, waiting for the lightning to strike here very quick, or the thunder to be heard outside the building. Eastern Allegan County, all of Berry County and Eaton County, the eastern half of Van Buren County and northwestern Kalamazoo counties, that seems to be the area of concern at the moment. A lot of lightning strikes in through there. And Juliet, on the backside of this storm system, once it moves through, we're going to have several hours of quiet, and then a cold front will come through. And by this time tomorrow night, we will have snow on the ground and freezing temperatures down into the mid-20s. Any updates for us by chance?
No, we are not hearing anything. Continuing to wait to hear from our crew. They are in Allegan County. We're hoping that Micah Cho is going to call in and tell us if they see or hear anything. Viewers, if you see or hear anything or can safely take photos, please send them to us. We want to see them. News at 13onyourside.com. As you can see, our tower cams are clear right now, wet, rainy. We don't even see any lightning here from the Muskegon tower cam. But as George is showing us, it's moving very quickly, and the one is split off, so the systems are north and south of Grand Rapids. And then, as George had mentioned, get ready for the snow, because everything's going to change, the temperature as well.
For those areas, for those folks that are watching us, the reason why we're staying on the air is for the tornado warning in Van Buren County. We always stay on the air until the threat has passed. Folks there always want to know if the threat has passed. I'll tell you where the threat has passed in other areas. If we pause this right now and do now, you can see from around the Grand Haven area all the way down through Holland, basically along 196 down to Benton Harbor now. The back edge of the storms, you are in the clear, while if you are in these areas to the north, up north of Lansing, up into the Ionia area, north of Grand Rapids, the storms are yet to move on in. So you're getting some light rain right now, but you could expect some gusty winds as this storm system kind of runs its course, runs itself out over the next hour or so. But again, the threat is pretty much done from about Grand Haven, maybe to Zeeland, probably to Allegan, over toward Bangor. To the east of there is where the threat remains at this time. Juliet, I understand Micah Cho
is... Yeah, we have Micah Cho with us. So let's, Micah, what are you seeing and where are you?